So let's come to a comfortable seated position. I like to actually sit up on my blanket. It tilts your hips forward, makes it a little bit easier. And let your hands come to rest gently in your lap. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Sit up tall. As you exhale, just relax your shoulders down and back. Another deep, full breath in through the nose. Sit tall. Exhale, settle the shoulders down and back. And take some deep breaths like that on your own. So with each inhale, lifting up through the upper back corner of your head. Feeling the spine lengthen, the back of the neck lengthen. With each exhale, the chin tucks very slightly, shoulders relax down and back. And let the hands come to rest gently on your lap or on your legs. And I invite you to either close your eyes or just find something to gaze softly at. And if you're keeping your eyes open and gazing at something, let it be a soft gaze, like you're looking through whatever the object is. And as we begin our practice, taking this time at the beginning of our practice to settle in. Tuning into your breathing, lengthening each breath that you take. It may help to imagine that you're stretching the breath, making each breath a little bit deeper, a little bit longer. I like to imagine that I'm kind of riding this wave of the breath. So as you inhale, you're riding the wave all the way up to the top of the inhale. And then there is a moment where everything pauses at the top, and then you just kind of fall down the wave of the breath, down, down, down the exhale to the bottom where there's another small pause, and then the inhale begins again. And as we take this time to settle in for our practice, seeing if you can slow the breath so that each wave is a little bit taller on the inhale and then a little bit deeper on the exhale. So last week, we talked about how the breath is this really powerful tool for healing, for bringing us to a state of calm and presence. And as we breathe slowly, deeply, just for a few minutes at the beginning of practice, see if you can notice that shift that begins to happen, however subtle or obvious it might be. So I'm just going to give you about a minute of this silent sitting and deep breathing. And I'd like you to add in your ujjayi breathing, so constricting the back of your throat as you breathe, the way that you do when you're sighing, except your lips are closed, so it's a little bit quieter. And just letting that sound of the breath soothe you, calm the body, bring you to a state of presence. We're going to take 4 more breaths like that. I want you to really try to be present with each breath. Sometimes we just try to get all the way down to the last breath as fast as we can. But see if you can just honor each breath. You might even count in your head, inhaling 4, Exhaling 4. Inhaling 3. And exhaling 3. Continuing on your own. And gently bring your hands together in front of the heart. I want you to try to keep that ujjayi breath flowing through the practice today. Tuck your chin slightly. Take a moment to welcome yourself to your practice, to honor yourself for making this time for you today. And for your intention, today's practice, perhaps intending to just be really present with everything that we do today. So we constantly kind of live in anticipation of the next moment. So we're oftentimes jumping ahead to what's coming next, what are we doing after this? And which tends to make us rush through what we're doing right here, right now, in the present. So that it's hard to just really be in and enjoy the present when we're doing that. So just kind of awakening your senses, appreciating each moment as it comes, and just feeling, noticing everything right here, right now. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. On your inhale, we're going to sweep the arms out and up. So reach the hands all the way up above the head. Big stretch up. Touch your palms above the head. As you exhale, we're going to twist your belly first towards the left, and then the shoulders, and then you're going to reach the hands down to the floor so the fingertips touch. And then inhale, reach the arms up, turn back to center. Exhale, turn your belly first to the right, and then the chest, shoulders, head, and then sweep the arms down and look behind you. Inhale, come back to center. Ujjayi breath. Exhale, turn to the left, starting the twist from the belly. Inhale, come up. Exhaling, belly to the right, and then chest, shoulders, and head. Look back as far as you comfortably can. Notice what you can see. Inhale, reaching up. Imagine moving through water, nice and smooth. Exhale, belly to the left. Head turns last. Notice what you can see. Inhale again. Exhale, twist to the right. Continuing this really smooth, steady movement on your own. So we're warming up with a nice, gentle spinal twist. And you're using your core, so keep going on your own. We're using our core to initiate the twist. So we're actually strengthening the core. And we're getting a nice full spinal twist because we start from the lower spine to twist, and then it kind of spirals up all the way to the cervical spine when the head turns. And when we do it in this way, we tend not to over twist. Sometimes when we twist, we kind of use our hands to tweak our bodies, and sometimes that's fine, but sometimes we do a little bit too much, and it can be a little bit jarring for the body. So when you're using your muscles to do this, you just kind of come as far as you can comfortably go. Yeah, go ahead and do one more round. Really reaching out through the hands, through the fingertips as you do this. So you're getting a nice stretch all the way down the shoulders through the fingertips. Let your last exhale be on the right side. Notice what you can see when you turn your head. Maybe it's a little farther than how you started. And then inhale back to center. And then exhale, bring your hands right back down to the heart. Good. From here, we're going to come all the way down onto our onto hands and knees, and you can use your blanket or your towel here to pad your knees if you want a little bit of extra padding. Okay. So come into tabletop, hands, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. So find that alignment for yourself. Spread the fingers really wide and press through the pads of your fingers so that you're really kind of activating the muscles in your hands. When you're pressing down through the pads of the fingers, through the bases of your fingers at those knuckles, feel how energized the hands are. And then draw that energy up the forearm, up the upper arm, so everything is really engaged. Maybe even down to the back of the shoulder blades. And then feel your lower belly drawing in, so everything is kind of activating and engaging here. Toes are tucked. Inhale, ujjayi breath. We're going to arch the back and peek up towards the ceiling, keeping this nice engagement in the arms and hands. Exhale, round and tuck. Inhale, ujjayi breath, arching the spine, peeking up to the ceiling. Exhale to round and tuck. And again, continuing this movement on your own. With each inhale, feeling the front of your body open and stretched as you're arching. Notice how that feels in all parts of your body. On your exhale, rounding and tucking. Pulling your belly button up towards the spine, tucking the chin to the chest. Feel that along the whole backside of your body. Notice all the sensations that come with this really simple sequence of cat-cow. Full breaths here, continuing to ride the wave of your breath so that each breath is as deep and as long as it can be, as it comfortably can be. If you want a little bit more intensity, walk your hands about an inch closer to your knees and continue the arching and rounding. Notice how your body responds. Take one more breath. Inhale back into tabletop. Okay, so bring your wrists under the shoulders once again. We're gonna turn the right hand fingers to the right, like that. And then you're gonna turn the fingers towards your knee. Okay, and then we're just gonna be very gentle and find a stretch here in the forearms, in the right forearm, so you can rock forward and back very, very gently. You can make little tiny circles. So not a lot of pressure here, just a couple of breaths. Okay, and then we're gonna pause and then turn everything back to center. Okay, let's try the other side. So left fingers to the left, and then towards your knees. You might notice one side's more intense, and then little baby, rocking forward, back, side to side. Be gentle here. Keep those fingers spread wide. Good, and then pause and turn everything back to center. Okay, from here, we're gonna keep the toes tucked and just sit back on the heels for a moment. You're gonna feel the stretch in the toes, the backs of your feet. See if you can bring your shoulders over the hip bones. Nice tall spine here. Right hand reaches out in front. You're gonna use the left fingers to pull the right hand towards you. So you're stretching down the forearm and the top of the hand. Okay, just a couple of breaths. Little addition you can add to this is kind of rotating the inner elbow down and up. It's kind of a small movement. I don't know if you can see, but just sort of internally, externally rotating. Good, and then we'll go ahead and switch. So just release. And then left hand, fingers down. Use the right hand to gently pull them a little closer to you, and then rotating, internal, external rotation with that left arm. Good. And then from here, release. Hands back on the floor, fingers spread wide, pressing through the pads of the fingers once again. Untuck the toes, and as you exhale, we're gonna reach the left hip towards the left heel. And then you're gonna swing your hips to the right, and then back up, and then to the left. So you're making big circles with your hips here. Imagine that you're inside of like a bowl, and you're cleaning the inner wall of the bowl with your hips. So I want you to really focus on breathing with the movement. So as you inhale, you're gonna lift the hips up, and then exhale, the hips naturally start to come down to the left, move to the right, and then upper right on the inhale. Okay, so find your own rhythm here. Let your head move however it wants to move. If you want to kind of let your head rock side to side, so you're stretching into the sides of your neck. Make this circle as round as you can, and try to feel into the sides of your waist, in between those ribs, the sides of your hips, and just feeling whatever sensations arise. Do one more in this direction. Keep that ujjayi breath going. And then we'll switch directions. So you're gonna draw the hips down to the right, to the left, upper right. So you can imagine that your hips are hitting these four corners, and then you're smoothing it all out. Smooth, steady breathing here. Good. We'll take one more in this direction. And then come back into tabletop. All right. From here, we're going to tuck the toes once again. Draw the hips back towards the heels. And drag your toes back a little bit, because you want to feel a nice deep stretch behind your toes and the soles of your feet. Take a couple of breaths in through the nose. Exhale, ujjayi breath. If you want a little bit more, you can walk your hands towards you, maybe sit back on your heels. If that's too intense, keep your hands on the floor. If you're sitting on the heels, nice tall spine, shoulders over hips. If you want a teensy bit more, lift your knees, hug your inner thighs towards each other, and come into your toe balance. Hands on the thighs or to the heart. Find a point to focus your eyes, whatever position you're in. And 3 slow, steady breaths. So again, taking each breath one at a time. We'll take 2 more. So inhale for 2. Exhale, hold. Inhale for 1. Exhale out. Good. Bring your hands to the floor. Lift your hips up, come into a forward fold. Your hands can be on blocks or on a mat, or you can place them on your shins. Okay, I like to kind of put them on the floor so I have a little bit of counterweight as I rock forward and back. So just take a moment to feel out this forward fold. You can rock from the heels to the balls of your feet. Let your head and your neck be really relaxed here. Go ahead and just shake your head out. And then soften your eyes, soften your jaw, and soften the roof of your mouth. Feel everything kind of sink down towards the floor. And then equal your weight on the heels and balls of your feet, and hold opposite elbows like so. And we're just gonna bend the right knee and straighten the left leg. And then bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Okay, go ahead and just kind of pedal the knees out like that. I'm just feeling the stretch in the hamstrings, the spine. Slow, steady breaths. And then bend both knees slightly, and we're just gonna rock the upper body side to side, just kind of swaying it side to side a little bit, feeling that nice release in the spine. Keep the eyes soft, deepen the breath. One more. Good. And then from here, release the hands. Bend the knees deeply, press down through your feet, and slowly roll yourself up to stand. Slowly, slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Your head comes up last, and you can use the palm of your hand to help your head come all the way up. And then once you're there, relax the hands by your sides, open your eyes if they're not already, deep breath in, and exhale out. Okay, we're gonna come to the top of the mat, so go ahead and just walk yourself forward. Come right on into Tadasana, so mountain pose. Feet are about hip width apart. We're gonna stand tall, and we're going to feel the outer edges of the feet on the mat. Lift the inner arches of your feet and lift your toes off the mat. Lift your toes off the mat. Spread your toes wide, and then settle the toes down like you're grabbing your mat with your toes. Okay, so just really active in the feet there. Draw the energy up the calves, up the kneecaps, and lift the kneecaps slightly. So the kneecaps are gently lifted, not locked out. Okay. And then tighten your quads a little bit so that your thighs are firm. Oh, that's me bow. And then lift up through the crown of the head. Okay. Take your fingertips to the collarbones and just kind of sweep them out to the side so the chest is nice and wide, shoulder blades down and back, hands beside you, fingers reaching to the floor. So really active Tadasana here. Take a deep breath in. I know. Okay. And then exhale, bring your hands to the heart. Okay. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Touch your palms above the head. As you exhale, just reach your arms out and then back to the heart. Okay, we're just gonna do that a few times. So imagine you're moving through that water again. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Really active through the fingertips. Touch your palms, look up and lean back. Exhale, arms out to the sides, back to the heart. One more time, deep breath in. Stretch the fingertips, reach the arms up. Imagine moving through warm honey. Exhale, arms out, hands back to the heart. Let's move into our sun salutes. Inhale, arms out and up. Touching the palms, lean back. Exhale, open the arms wide. Forward fold. Feel the stretch in the spine, the hamstrings. Bring the forehead towards the shins. Inhale, halfway up. Fingertips on the shins. Chest parallel to the floor. Deep breath. Exhale, left leg steps back. Lower the knee. Untuck the toes. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Tuck the tailbone, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands down, fingertips line up with your toes. Step into plank pose. Strong plank, bodies in a straight line. Spread those fingers wide, just like we did in our tabletop. Draw your lower belly in, so really firm, strong core. Reach your heels back and reach through the crown of your head. Okay, so one of the tendencies in plank pose is to kind of lift the hips up. Go ahead and see if you can lower the hips and scoop your tailbone under. So you're really working your core, your abdominals, your lower back, everything is strengthening here. If it's too much, just lower your knees. We're gonna take one more breath. And then exhale, lower the knees. Bend your elbows lower down for 5 counts. So elbows point back, bend for 5, 4, come down to your belly, 3, 2, and 1. Untuck the toes, press your hips down, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chin and chest. Baby Cobra. Okay, so in Baby Cobra, hug the shoulders down and back. And no weight in the hands here. We're just using the muscles along the back side of the body to keep us lifted. Take a breath. Feel your lower back. Exhale, lower down, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Shake the head out. Few deep breaths here in downward facing dog. So just like we mentioned earlier, those fingers are spread really wide. We're pressing through the pads of our fingers. We're lifting the tailbone up and back and releasing the heels towards the mat. The knees don't need to be straight, okay? Focus on lengthening your spine first, and then you can start to press your thighs back to stretch those hamstrings. But focus more on lengthening the spine first. Take another breath, one more. And then we're gonna exhale, soften the knees, look forward, step or jump all the way to the top. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep the arms out and up, deep breath in. Touch your palms, lean back, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Come back to that really strong, engaged Tadasana. So spread those toes, lift the kneecaps slightly, engage your quads, tall spine. Take a breath. Exhale, pause, find a point to focus your eyes. This is your drishti. And then inhale, reach the arms out and up. Look up, lean back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, right leg steps back. Lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Good, exhale, float the hands down, fingertips in line with the toes, plank pose or modified plank. Remember, you can drop your knees as needed. We're gonna hold for 3 breaths here. If it's too much at any time, drop the knees or just come into child's pose for a couple breaths. But I do want you to challenge yourselves in a healthy way as long as you're not in pain. See if you can stay with it, feeling the heat starting to build in your body. Keep those fingers spread wide. Beautiful work. One more breath. And then as you exhale, if your blanket gets in the way, you can move your blanket to the side. We're going to drop the knees, bend the elbows lower down for 5, 4, keep your body in a straight line, 2 and 1. Untuck the toes, hug the shoulder blades down the back, press through the hips, lift chin and chest. So Baby Cobra here, feel your lower back. Float your legs off the floor. See if you can lift even the thighs off the mat. Now lengthen your legs a little bit more so that they feel like they're growing a little bit longer. And then reach the hands back. So fingertips are reaching towards the heels of your feet. If that's too much, keep your hands on the floor. So everything, you just make it your own. Take one more breath in. Exhale, lower down and downward facing dog. Press through the hands, lift the hips up. If down dog is a little bit too much for your shoulders, like if you have any sort of injury, then you can lower your knees like this and then stretch your arms forward into puppy dog. So you can see that it's a very similar stretch in the spine and in the arms. The only difference is that my knees are on the floor, so I'm not putting so much pressure on my shoulders and on my wrists. So this is a really nice alternative, as well as child's pose, okay? So your choice here, one more breath wherever you are. And then we're going to come into our forward fold. Walk the legs forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Bend the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Touch your palms above the head. Look up, lean back. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay. From here, find that strong Tadasana. So spread those toes, lift the kneecaps slightly. Stand nice and tall. We're going to shift the weight to the right foot and see if we can pick up the left foot just an inch or so. Okay. And then switch. So shift the weight to the left foot, lift up the right foot. Good. And then switch again, lift up the left foot. And if you want a little bit more, we're going to lift the knee about hip level. If you want a little bit more, you're going to kick that leg forward and lower back down. Switch to the other side. So lift the right foot just an inch. If you want more, lift the knee and then maybe kick that leg forward. So you want to try to kick it forward like you're kicking something away from you and then lower down. Okay, let's try that again. You can bring your hands out to the sides if that's easier for balance. Okay, left foot. Find your level, maybe a couple inches, maybe the knee lifts, maybe you kick that leg forward. So I'm going to turn to the side. If you're choosing to kick that leg forward, do it in slow motion so you're feeling everything engaging and strengthening here in front of that leg. Switch to the other side. If you're kicking the leg forward, try to keep your spine tall. Try not to lean back. Okay. One more time each side. Lifting the right foot, the left foot. Find your balance wherever you are. If you're kicking the leg forward, we're going to try to hold it and lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time on the other side. Right leg lifts. If you're kicking the leg forward, pause. Lower down slowly for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come down to the mat and we're going to step the right leg back and bring the knee down to the floor. Okay. So come into a low lunge here. Tuck the back toes. Okay. And then go ahead and just drop your hips forward so you're feeling a stretch in the right hip flexor and in the right quad. Pause here for a moment. And we're going to come into a deeper lunge here by shifting the left foot to the edge of the mat. So you're kind of widening your stance, coming into dragon lunge. So hands are on the mat. You can take your hands on blocks if you have blocks. Lift the back knee and take a moment just to kind of shift side to side. So this is a pretty deep stretch for the right hip flexor and the right quad. So I'll angle myself a little so you can kind of see. And then from here, you can either stay. If you want a little bit more, make circles with that right kneecap as if you're drawing circles on the floor. And then switch the direction of your circles. Okay, and then we're going to lower the knee gently to the mat. You can use this padding of your towel or your blanket here and untuck the back toes. Okay, so in this posture, you can lower down by turning the left knee out to the left side, so you're rolling onto the outer edge of the left foot. Either stay up on your hands. If you want to come lower, you can lower down onto your forearms. But if your body is resisting and starting to feel pain, that's a sign for you to just back off a little bit. That is not a sign for you to push through the pain. and force it to happen. That's how injuries happen. So be really gentle, be kind to your body. I'm gonna stay up on my hands because I'm feeling pretty tight in my right hip right now. And you can either stay still or rock gently side to side. Okay, so just a nice stretch for that right hip flexor, right quad. Steady breaths here. Good. And then from here, we're gonna come back up, flatten the left foot onto the floor, hands on the mat, and bring that leg back to meet the left, or the right. And we'll switch. So right leg is gonna step forward. You can use your hand to sort of help the leg out. So start with the knee on the floor, drop the hips, just feel into that left hip flexor for a moment. Maybe rock a bit side to side. Now if you're wanting a little more, tuck the back toes, lift the knee off the floor, and scoot your right foot to the right, to the outer edge of your mat. Hands on the floor or on blocks. Gently rock side to side or make little circles with the left kneecap as if there's a pencil tied to the tip of your kneecap. You're just making little circles here. And switch direction of the circle. Keep your breath steady. Notice if this side feels any different than the first side. Okay, and then let's lower that knee down. And if you want to come deeper, you can come down onto your forearms. You can turn onto the outer edge of the right foot and kind of open the right knee out and make yourself a little bit of space to come down. This is called lizard lunge. I'm going to stay up on my hands today. I can already feel a really good stretch here for my left hip, so I'm not going to force anything that feels kind of tight. So just a few steady breaths. And as you sway side to side, just observing whatever sensations arise, where the edge of your comfort is. And when we're playing into the edges of our poses, we just kind of notice when the body starts to resist. And then we just back off a little bit because we found our edge. And we can just kind of play with going to our edge, coming back. But we're not trying to force our way through. Last breath here. Good. From here, we're gonna come back up onto the hands, flatten the right foot onto the floor. Bring this leg back and go ahead and come onto your bottom and bring the bottoms of your feet together, like so. So diamond shape with our legs, cobbler's pose. I'll face towards you. Okay. And we're gonna interlace the fingers around the toes, lift up through the crown of the head, nice tall spine. Press the hips down towards the floor, shoulders down and back. And then as you exhale, lean forward, leading with the chest. Bend the elbows and softly fold. Relax your head. And settle into your breath here. You can shake the head gently side to side. And then let the head rest in the middle. Let it be very heavy, so it's stretching your spine. And as you inhale, feel your chest rise up to the chin. As you exhale, feel the chest fall. you inhale, feel your belly expand. Exhale, feel the belly draw in. One more breath. And exhale out. From here, we're going to shrug our shoulders up towards the ears. Get them really tight up towards the ears. And then press them down away from the ears. Roll yourself up slowly. Bring the palm of your hand to your forehead and help your head come all the way up. And pausing, sitting up nice and tall once you get to the top. Shoulders down and back. Take a deep breath in. And out. Okay. From here, let's take a quick forward fold with the legs apart. So we're going to use the hands to bring the knees together. You can wiggle your toes out here. And then we're going to stretch the legs forward and then open out to the side. So use your hands to kind of scoot yourself forward. We're not going to stay too long in this forward fold. I just want to get a nice stretch for those inner thighs. So try to get your toes facing up. Lift up through the crown of your head. Lengthen the spine. From here, walk the hands forward. Lean into the fold with the chest. And then once you stop naturally, let your spine round, relax the head. So steady, slow breaths. Settling into the edge of this pose for you. And noticing at what depth your body begins to resist. And then just letting yourself pause there. Breathing deeply. Soften the eyes, the jaw, the head. Feeling whatever stretch you're feeling, wherever you feel it in the body. And take one more breath here. Good. Shake your head out one more time. Shake the head no. And then walk your hands towards you. Roll back up through the spine. Sit up nice and tall. Pause at the top. Good. And then use your hands to bend the knees. Bring the legs together. You can move your blanket out of the way if you have one. And we're going to bring the legs out in front of us with the knees bent. Hands behind your thighs. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. So draw your lower back forward and up. Draw the shoulders down and back. Lower belly draws in. Let's practice our boat pose. Okay. So we're leaning back. Find the balancing point until when your toes can lift off the floor. And remember, if you roll back like this, you've kind of gone a little bit past that point. So let's try this boat pose together. You can hug the legs towards each other, lift up from the chest, draw the shoulders back. Okay. Now in every pose, there should be a balance of steadiness and ease. Okay. So even within a challenging pose, there should be a little bit of steadiness, well, a lot of steadiness and deep breath. Take one more breath. If you want a little bit more, you can lift your shins a bit higher. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Lower your legs to the floor. We're going to use our hands to lower our upper bodies to the floor. And then bring your knees over your hips. Legs bent 90 degrees like so. Okay. Take your hands to the lower belly. Draw the belly in so your lower back flattens onto the mat. So your lower back flattens onto the mat. Reach your arms out to the sides like a big T. And exhale. Keep your belly engaged. Lower your knees to the left. Before they touch the bottom, draw the belly in. come back to center. Use your core. Exhale, drop your knees towards the right. Draw the belly in, bring your knees back to center. Extend your left leg. Use your hands to draw the left knee towards the right knee towards the chest. And then move this knee across your body into a spinal twist. So any amount, right arm reaches out to the side. You can take your gaze over towards the right. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. So just a different variation of this spinal twist. As you inhale, feel your breath moving all the way down to the tailbone, down the spine to the tailbone. Feel the stretch, not only in the lower back, but maybe down the outer right thigh, hip, outer leg. One more breath here. Good. Inhale, come back to center, and we'll switch. Extend the right leg, pull the left knee gently towards the chest. Use your hands to guide that left knee over your body towards the right. Spinal twist here. Left arm can reach out to the side. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. Inhale, 2. Exhale out. Inhale, 1. Exhale out. Inhale back to center. Bring both feet flat to the floor. Let's finish with an easy bridge. Palms down beside your hips. Feet are hip width apart. Heels under the knees. Press down through your feet. Float those hips up to the ceiling. Press down through your feet and notice that as you do so, the hips are able to lift up. Relax the eyes, the jaw. Feel the strength of your lower body. Knees are hugging towards each other. Feet are grounding as the hips lift. Take a deep breath. Exhale, hold. We'll take one more. Inhale. Exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Hug your knees into your chest, wrap the arms around, squeeze into a little ball, squeeze in tight and tighten up the entire face, the eyes, the nose, and mouth. And then stretch the whole face, stick out the tongue, roll the eyes back. And release. Bring the head to the floor, come into Shavasana, final relaxation pose. Feet are mat width apart, toes to the sides, hands away from you, palms up. If that's not comfortable, bend your knees, feet on the floor, knees together, or take any comfortable resting pose. Wherever you are, deep breath in through the nose, and then a big sigh out through the mouth. We'll just give ourselves the next couple minutes to simply rest, to observe this inflow and outflow of the breath. To allow our bodies to integrate the effects of our practice. Just feel your body settling down into the floor beneath you. Feel the corners of your eyes soften. Feel your jaw relax. Feel the tongue relax inside the mouth. The teeth separate slightly as you relax your jaw. Feel the back of your head rest down into the mat. Feel your shoulder blades resting down into the mat. All the parts of your spine and your hips sinking down. Backs of your arms and hands and fingers relaxed. Bones of the legs heavy. Ankles, feet, all the toes relaxed. Just feel the body breathing itself. Inhale, the belly rises. Exhale, the belly falls. Begin to deepen the breath, feeling the belly rise and fall, body breathing itself. Gently wiggle the fingers and toes, roll the hands and feet, waking the body. On your inhale, find a big stretch, reaching the arms up, stretch through the legs, point the toes, stretch the whole body. And exhale, roll to one side. Take a moment to pause. Take a full breath in and out. And slowly press yourself up to a comfortable seat, sitting tall. Taking a moment just to notice how you feel after your practice. Bring your hands together at the heart and join me either aloud or silently in this blessing. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. Thank you so much for sharing your practice. Namaste.